Balance is an interesting concept, for we each have a different and unique balance point. Working 10 or 12-hour days may be in balance for some, where others go completely out of balance if they have to go to an office every day. It's empowering to know what works for you and where your balance point is both personally and professionally. When is it too much and when is it not enough? Balance is about knowing and noticing what you need at any moment and, most important, about shifting from where you are to where you need to be. I spent more than 10 years as what I would call a serious businesswoman. That was my life. I had no time to play, to cook, to socialize, and most important, no time to take care of me. I didn't even take the time to know myself. Integration and balance were missing. I was very one-dimensional. I moved out west with the intention of changing my lifestyle, and I did. Every aspect of my life slowed down, deepened, and became richer. I learned to breathe and to actually smell the roses. For more than a year, I did what I needed to do professionally to get by, but mostly, I healed myself. I met myself for the first time and took the necessary time to begin to know myself and my needs. I said no a lot and kept to myself. And soon the phone stopped ringing. It was a little scary, but I knew it was what I needed. Old habits. Finally, it felt like it was time to resurface, so I started saying yes, and of course the phone started ringing again. Then a new fear set in. I was afraid that I would revert back to my old ways and stop taking care of myself. I had evidence of this. I was preparing to go to New York for a high school reunion. I knew they would all have baby pictures, so I brought my baby, a copy of my first book. I realized that I was about to fly 3,000 miles just for the reunion and had nothing else scheduled. This thought was reminiscent of the old me. In my new life, if I had a few business appointments in a week, it was fine. For the old me, somehow it never felt like enough. I recognized my ego and old identity as thoughts came up such as, am I accomplished enough? In order to show myself and them that I was, I flipped back into super businesswoman mode. I booked 5 appointments for one day in New York City. And of course, they were big, important appointments. My publisher, Working Woman Magazine, Success Magazine, Olga V. and Mather, the National Association of Female Executives, and a lunch in between. It was exciting to get the response I received, but at what price? I squeezed in a quick shopping trip to my favorite discount outlet. I was out of control. I spent $200 in about 10 minutes and proceeded to leave my shopping bag in an overheated taxi, never to be seen again, where the driver refused to turn on the air conditioning. Overheated and out of air. Doesn't life give us the most literal metaphors? I totally overdid it in 100-degree heat. That day I promised myself I would learn to integrate my new life practices of being calm and centered with my old productive life. This is something I continue to work at. It takes serious awareness and practice. My phone rings a lot. I am grateful, yet sometimes I let the answering service pick it up. Sometimes I play music in the office. Some days I don't work. I notice the more I take care of myself, the better my service and the quality of my work both are. I practice not being fragmented, but rather using all of me. I don't want to be still so I can do more, but rather bring my stillness to my work. This is not a small point. I don't want to leave play to go to work. I want to play and have fun at work. Sometimes we separate aspects of ourselves that would serve us better to weave together. With a little awareness and effort, we can become more integrated and have much more of ourselves. Circumstances. It's too easy to let our stuff get in the way and believe or decide that we can't have it all or that there's always a price to pay for having what we want. One thing we can pretty much count on is that life will provide distractions. There's so many wonderful or annoying things happening all the time. The question becomes, how are you going to interact with them, or how will they impact you? In other words, how are you